Today, Jesus has some pretty strong words for the scribes and Pharisees. He says, "You are like whitewashed tombs that appear beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are dead and contain men's bones." He's calling out their hypocrisy, saying how these people are trying to tell everyone what they're doing wrong. They're pointing out the sins of the people, yet they themselves have great sinfulness within them. They continue to present themselves as morally superior, but really have great sinfulness within their own hearts. They lack an actual relationship with the Lord, and rather are using the law to be a buffer between them and other people. Jesus has little patience for this, even less patience than he has for any other sinner in the world, because he does not want anyone to lord it over another. And this is something, the sin of the scribes and Pharisees, that we can fall into a lot ourselves. And maybe not in the same way that the Pharisees and scribes did in that day, lording things over other people in that way. But I think it happens most of all in the ways that we talk about other people, gossip, talking behind another person's back. When we can point out the sins and failings and the failures of another person, and it helps us to feel better. It's almost a form of bullying by putting down another person to kind of build ourselves up, or to say, "Oh, well, at least we're not like that." One of the things that is always a little bit not fun to hear in a confessional is saying, "Well, I haven't done anything too bad." Okay, that's good to hear in one way, but also that's not the way we should be thinking. It shouldn't be a minimalist way of looking at our sins. It should be, "Lord, I know I'm a sinner. Help me to see my sinfulness." So how do we avoid that judgmental spirit? How do we avoid being hypocrites like the scribes and Pharisees? Well, I think St. Louis, the saint we celebrate today, shows us a great example. He was a king who was very, very mindful of his people and very mindful of his faith. He was very obedient to the church and prayed every day. And in writing a letter to his son, he kind of showed his true colors. He said, always side with the poor in situations, unless you can tell for sure that they aren't in the right. Because he was always mindful of those who were most in need of God's help, mercy, and grace. So let's ask the Lord today that we might have a humble spirit, that we might be not hypocrites, but that we might continue to grow in holiness.